Claire Rogers is Head of Digital Strategy and Business Performance here at ANZ. She's also a Christian. Claire, I was wondering if you could help us think through how do you in your life fit together both being a Christian and climbing the ladder in the workplace?
That's a really good question, Andrew, because this question became an issue for me the more I went and talked about being a Christian at work. And I always got these questions in the after discussion around how can you reconcile your ambition with your faith. So I've had to do some thinking about it because I was uncomfortable with that question and uncomfortable with the idea, I think, that ambition is a negative thing. And so, one of the things I went back to was actually the dictionary definition of ambition, and it's to earnestly strive for something. That's what it means. The issue becomes more challenging when you're earnestly striving for yourself. I think ambition in Christian circles has got a negative connotation. It's got a sort of dirty tag, as you mentioned. I think it's unfair because God calls us to restore His kingdom and to create heaven on earth. And you can't do that by saying, well, I'm just not going to go into senior places because, it's all corrupt and, the politics and I'll get corrupted. We have to trust that God will give us the skills and the abilities to deliver what He wants us to achieve and what He believes we should achieve.
And so you talk about it being an issue which people have asked you a lot about, and as we say, it's perhaps sometimes considered a dirty word in Christian circles, but for you there is a way of being ambitious which also honours God.
It all comes back to motivation and also calling. I felt very called, and it was at a time when it wasn't popular. Christian ministry was the place. That was where to be. And that was the highest calling you could possibly have. That came, through all my church years and uni years when I was forming what I was going to do in my career. And I never actually felt called to that. Felt completely inadequate because I didn't have the skills to do that kind of role. And ended up going, I'll just go into the workforce and earn some money so I can fund, because that was also told to me as a mighty thing to aspire for. And there was never any question of, well, what gifts had God given me and how did He want me to express them? So it wasn't until much later in my career that I started to go, actually, I think God's put me here for a reason, and I think I've got some skills to bring to a leadership context that are able to demonstrate God's plan for the world in the long term.